cardstock here that's 20.5 centimetres by 14 centimetres, so this will fit on an A5 card base. Now on here I've put some pencil marks just on the end, and I'm going to do some masking and stenciling. Okay, so I've just measured in 3 centimetres from there and 3 centimetres from there, and then added on another sort of 3 millimetres, and this will create a border, and I'm going to do the same on each side. Okay, so the colours I'm going to use are Peacock Feathers, Wilted Violet, Picked Raspberry. Okay, I've got some finger daubers here. I find these perfect for what I'm about to do. So I think I'm going to go with Picked Raspberry. Yeah, to start off with. Oops, it's alive. So I'm just going to turn it towards me so I can get a good view. I'm just going to run my finger dauber down there to create a border. Sorry, excuse me, I'm just chewing on a throaty sweet. Okay. And I always like, because it's because I've used this tape, I don't want to get ink on my finger, so I'm just going to wipe a little bit off the tape so I don't get ink on my card. And remove that. Come here. So you get that nice line like that. And like so. Low tack tape is the best for this technique, really. So I'm just going to do the same on this side. I'm just going to line up the tape. Sorry if I'm trying not to get my head in the way. Oh, sorry, wrong line, that line. You probably can't see the pencil marks, but they are there, trust me. And I find that if you put pencil marks on, obviously, you get more of an accurate finish. I don't know what it is, there's something quite satisfying about masking off and then revealing. I think it's quite satisfying when you peel the tape away. So I mark my finger daubers with the colours as well, so yeah, I don't get them mixed up. A nice smooth colour across there. And again, just wiping that tape, because the last thing I want is smudges. Okay. Get rid of that piece of tape. And that one there. Oh, it's stuck to my finger. Oh, it's low tack tape, but when it sticks to itself, it's strong stuff. Right. Okay, just going to get a fresh piece of tape. See, I've got ink on my fingers, so I'm just going to wipe that off. Okay, now I'm just going to mask off this bottom border here. Like so. Just changing my colour, and I'll go for...
I don't know that one.
Oh. Alexa's piped up. I don't know why. Right. Yeah, I'm going to go for Peacock Feathers now. And just do that edge there. So how is everybody? Hope you're doing really well. Just a bit of a heads up, this card as well is going to be, would be perfect for the June challenge, because I believe it's a set of 3. Oh, by the way, I'm using watercolour cardstock here. It's a 300 GSM, nice and thick. So I'm just going to take that away from there. And do this side here. Make sure I've got no ink on my fingers. And this is perfect as well if you don't have a lot of cardstock that's, you know, all different colours or colours of the rainbow, but you've got inks. This is great tip for like matting and layering, like that matting and layering effect. And it will save you a fortune on different coloured cardstocks. So you could do the same sort of all 4 edges and it'll look like it's been matted and layered. Oh, I've got a little bit of ink on there, but it's only a little bit. There's a small line across there, but my sand eraser will get rid of that in a little bit. Okay. I'll just get rid of that. Okay, I'm just going to move those 2 ink pads out of the way. I'll come back to Wilted Violet. Next up is butterflies. I've got the majestic ones here, and I'm going to use this top one here. It's a sort of a square shape that I quite like, so I'm going to use that one. And then pop that beauty onto an acrylic block. Just move my masking tape because I don't need that. And then I am using a soft grey. This one's called Twilight by Catherine Paula. And it's a beautiful soft grey. I use this a lot actually. It's one of my most used colours. Just get my stamping pad. I've re-inked this pad actually, so it might be a bit juicy. We'll see how we go. Right, I need to pull it towards me because I need to put my head over it. Let's see how we go. And if my calculations are correct, it should be close to the line on each end. Let's see. That didn't work out too bad at all. And again, sorry, I'm just going to have to pull it towards me a little bit more. Normally I would stand up or look right over it, but my camera's sort of right by my head, so I have to be careful. Hope you can see all right. If you're having trouble seeing or hearing me, please shout up and let me know. Okay, let's see how that goes. Lovely jubbly, happy with those. And as usual, just give my stamp a little bit of a clean. So I like the contrasting colours. The peacock feathers and the pink raspberry are so pretty together. And then when you add in the wilted violet in a little bit, it's a bit more wow. Okie dokie. So next up is I've done 2 masks here. Now all I've done is stamped the same stamp out on some 160 GSM paper and then cut them out. But I have left sort of a small couple of millimetre edge around because I want there to be a bit of an edge. So for mask, all I use is two-way glue. Now this is a permanent when it's wet, but temporary when it's dry. It goes tacky. I'll just get some going there. And all I do is just put a little bit of this glue around the edges and a little bit, and then put that aside to let it dry. You could use, if you have some spray, is it like, I think you can get some sprays, can't you, that are temporary stick. I don't use them because I've got a scan and cut in the room, so I don't want to use that because it would damage my machine, I think. So yeah, just let that one dry. Okay, so that ink should be drying on there. I'm just going to give it a quick go with the heat tool just to make sure the ink's dry. Sorry for the noise. Don't want my card to warp too much with the heat. There we go, that should be fine. Okay, and these should be tacky now. Yeah. So I'm just going to line the butterfly up. Just to cover up the butterflies that I've already done. Okay, and that side as well. Righto, now I've got some gel here that I'm going to mix with Lisa's mica powder. I've picked the purple one this time. My card I've done previously, I've chosen the pink one, but this time I'm going to go with the oh sorry, no, I used the blue, but this one I'm going to use the purple. Okay. Now this stuff is a gloss gel that when dries clear and glossy. And I'm going to just pick it up with the paintbrush. There we go, that should be fine. It's potent stuff, so you won't need an awful lot. The mica powders give the most incredible sheen, and they all do have their own colours. You won't be able to see much on the through the camera, but trust me, it is there. If you don't own these mica powders, I highly recommend them. And just as I'm mixing it here on my mat, I think you can see a little bit of the sheen coming through already. So yeah, just yeah, this is a heavy body gel as well, so it holds the mica powders brilliantly. And once dry, that sheen really comes to its own. Yeah. Okay, that should be fine. Just going to give my hands a quick wipe. Right, for this I am going to I need to mask off the borders. So bear with me while I just do that. There we go. Can you hear the concentration? Oh dear. Right. There we go. That should be fine. So I've masked off right up to that pink line to the top. Okay. And then I'm going to use the checkered stencil, which fits perfect because this is more or less an A5 piece of card, and this is an A5 stencil. It fits the width pretty much perfectly. Okay, so all I need to do is put the paste along this centre part here. Just hope that I've prepared enough paste now. But if you use it sparingly and scrape as you go, there we go, should be plenty. So I want to get right to the edges as well for a neat finish. Because these are such thick mylar as well, you can get right into the grooves of the stencil. There we go, I think we're getting there. Okay, so now I'm just going to lift this stencil up gently and carefully. Don't want to smudge that. And as you can see, the stencil has lifted the mask off already. That's fine, because that's the effect I'm going for anyway. And then under here, I just want to lift that mask off carefully. I've used a thicker cardstock because if you used copy paper, it would disintegrate under the gel. Okay, now I'm just going to lift those masks off. Fingers crossed, the gel will come away. Yep, so just get rid of that in the bin 1 second. Okay, I'm just going to lift it up and get rid of this gel. Okay, so just don't want to put my card down, and then get rid of this masking tape as well. There we go. Fine, right, I just think it just adds a bit more texture and interest to the card. It's a beautiful technique, a beautiful stencil, and absolutely fantastic stamps. Okay, so I would leave that a couple of hours to dry fully, but I'm not sure if you can see the mica. in the gel already. It will come, you'll be able to see it a whole lot more once it's dry, but the shimmer is there. It's absolutely stunning. And because there's a hint of purple in that mica powder as well, I think it will go well with the card. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that one to one side to dry. And I did prepare one yesterday. So this one I used the peacock feathers as a border, and I haven't done the outer border on this one, I left it plain. But this one has got the blue mica powder in it. Can you see that? Wow, Miriam, yeah, it is wow. It's absolutely beautiful. Now with the gel I've got, it is still a bit tacky even though it is dry. You could use an anti-static bag over the top just to get rid of the tackiness as well. But it still wouldn't interfere in the mica. You can, it would get rid of the sort of the tackiness of the gel. But yeah, I think that's really pretty. Okay, let's crack on because I don't know how we're doing for time. I haven't got a watch. Okay, because I used the jeweled butterflies on that one, I need to swap stamp sets. So I've got my jeweled butterfly here, and it's this one I used. I could use the other butterfly, but I just wanted to be in keeping with the same butterflies. Okay, and I've got just a scrap piece of vellum here. And for this one, I'm going to use Wilted Violet. Whoops, the lid's stuck. Just going to stamp that. Get a good coverage on the stamp. Oxides aren't the best for stamping, but they're brilliant for heat embossing, and that's what I'm going to do in a moment. So I'm just going to stamp that down like so, get a good impression hopefully. Yeah, okay, just put the lid back on there. While that's still wet, I've got Lisa's tweezers here, look, they're fabulous, brilliant pointed tweezers, great for intricate work. So while that's still wet, I have some of Lisa's clear embossing powder and some of the Ice Sky mermaid tails, and I've just put them in an old embossing powder pot that I don't use anymore. So there's some embossing powder and mermaid tails together. Okay, so while that's still wet, just going to get a good coverage on that. Some of the big mermaid tails won't stick to the butterfly, some will. But the smaller particles of glitter will stick. So I'm just going to move that to one side. Save that for another day. And if you've got big chunks of glitter, the best thing to do is heat the embossing powder from behind. Some will fly away, hopefully some will stick. Watch your fingers. Should be fine now. There we go. Righto. So I'm just going to trim this bad boy out. So you can see some of the mermaid tails, the larger specks of mermaid tails have stuck to the embossing powder, and it's going to give it that beautiful glimmer. Sorry, I missed a question there. Do apologise. If I've missed anything and the design team haven't answered you in the meantime, I will get back to you, I promise. Okay. Sorry, my fussy cutting's not the best and I am quite slow. So I apologise. I think that's one of the main reasons I bought a machine to do it for me. Right. But I just wanted to get this just to, you know, show you that you can cut these butterflies out, even out of vellum, out of acetate, and you will get the most stunning effects. Okay, just trim that off a little bit more. Let's go for the antenna. There we go. Get rid of them. Okay, and I just bend. You've seen one of the design team members do this before. I just bend the wings back, sort of pinch them in the middle, like so. Wrong way, in fact. I want it to be that way. Shape some of the wings. Okay. I'm just going to stamp the sentiment before I stick the butterfly on. So this one I'm going to use until you spread your wings. You will have no idea how high you can fly. So I just wanted to make sure that the sentiment fit at the bottom here, and we're going to stamp it there. And I think actually no, change my mind, because I need to put a border on there, don't I? So I need one that's a bit thinner. No beauty shines brighter than a good heart. So that's one I'm going to use. And I'm going to use Wilted Violet again. Sorry, decisions. 3 colours. I'm like, which one do I use? Right. Just want to make sure I get this lined up. I think that's gone on crooked, but never mind. It's not too bad. And again, I am just going to, but this time I'm just going to use Lisa's clear embossing powder to cover that. Okay, just heat set this. Like so. And then it's time to adhere the butterfly. And as usual, I'm just using my 3D Collage glue, which I think has blocked slightly. So I'm just going to see if I can get it out. There we go, it's come out. And I like to put a good line of glue right up the centre of the butterfly so it's stabilised. And then sit him in the middle. So you've got the three sort of muted butterflies, the two muted butterflies in the background, and then that dazzling one on the front. And that beautiful sentiment. Okay. And I think this is one of the easiest card bases to make. It's an A4 piece of paper scored straight down the middle, and that gives you an A5 card base. And because I've got that nice pearlescent shimmer from the mica powder in there, I'm going to adhere that onto a pearlescent card base, like so. Which I should do later, but I'm going to do the pink borders first. So I should do that off camera. Okay, and I did two more. Because I was practicing and playing around with the mica powders, I did that one as well. This one, I did the same masking technique, and then just dropped some perfect medium over the top, and then dusted the mica powder over the top. So you could do it that way as well. Okay, this one I did an ink blending technique where I just pushed some Versamark through the bubble wrap stencil, heat embossed it with clear powder, and then did masked it off, and then ink blended the same three colours, and then put that butterfly on there as well. So yeah, they're brilliant cards. I think look lovely. I think anybody would be happy to receive that. So yeah, that's my card for today. I shall finish it off and then post a picture in the group so you can see it a bit closer. Hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. It's been a lot of fun. The June challenge is open, and it's sets of 3. And if you did a card similar to this, that would be a perfect entry. And then don't forget, Lisa is on our screens on Friday, 12th of June. She'll be with us bright and early in the morning, 7:30, and then again at 11:15. So it's going to be another early start for Lisa. But we've got some amazing Christmas goodies coming your way, and I can't wait for you all to see them, and they're absolutely fabulous. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you've got any questions, drop them down below, either in the group or on YouTube, wherever you're watching. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Strike with perfect timing. The mountainsides alive with northern glow. Streams of diamond white